There's a device that I've been using called a Whoop.
Hello, and welcome back to the 5th season of the International Game of Whoop. I'm the creator and host of iGao, Dan Sugano, aka FPV Skittles, and in this video, we're going to be covering iGao 5 Preseason Training Ground Challenge number 7, that's the BetaFPV TPW Midterm. In this final challenge of the iGao 5 Preseason, you're going to have the opportunity to show off all of the awesome skills you have learned during the last 8 weeks of the training grounds. Before we jump into the exact requirements, I want to talk about this challenge's title sponsor, BetaFPV. When I started flying 8 or 9 years ago, all whoops ran brushed motors, which were far less powerful, had to be replaced every few months, and had several other disadvantages versus the brushless motors that we run today. Nate Payne, aka Mr. Shutterbug, and myself worked with BetaFPV to create, test, and promote the very first brushless bind and fly whoops. And that's how the Beta 75X came into existence.
This is the Beta 75X. Powered by a 7.4 volt battery and 1103 11,000 kV motors. It is the fastest microducted drone in the world. Now with props out, you can fly faster, corner sharper, and send it harder than ever before. Order yours today at BetaFPV.com. Battery included.
Wow, so yeah, that was like 5, 6, 7, almost 7 years ago now. And I recently got this plaque from BetaFPV. It's a brand ambassador and it's celebrating their 8th anniversary. I've been working with them nearly as long as they've been a company. So through all that time, Beta has remained relevant and kept upping its game, including more and more things in the FPV space. They now have beginner options like ready to fly kits in their Cetus line. And they've stayed relevant in the tiny whoop game, making some of the best bind and fly brushless whoops. Their new Air 65 series has been really well received. And of course they have some great cinematic drones like the Pavo. The BetaFPV Matrix 3-in-1 FC with a 3 amp BEC is the go-to flight controller for any 1S whoop running the new DJI O4 Air unit. I personally run the Matrix 3-in-1 on all my DJI whoops and I highly recommend it. This is a great example of BetaFPV continuing to listen to the community and provide products that pilots are asking for. Huge shout out to Beta for always supporting iGao and RaceGao at a high level. Okay, now let's get into the challenge details. The basic concept for this challenge comes from an idea that I've used several times in past iGaos, and it's like doing a real-life run of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater video game, except with whoops and FPV tricks. Tyrantt loved this challenge, and after winning iGao 4, he created a much better, more refined, and customizable system to score the runs in Tyrantt's Pro Whooper. We're going to be using a simplified version of this scoring system in the BetaFPV TPW Midterm. Okay, so now I'm going to toss it over to the reigning iGao champion, the winner of iGao 4, Tyrantt, for a more in-depth explanation of the challenge.
Hey, thanks Skittles. What's up everyone, Tyrantt here. Welcome to iGao 5 Training Grounds week number 7. This week, we're taking things to the next level with the Freestyle Showdown, a pro whooper competition that was influenced by the iconic gameplay of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, where your performance alone determines your victory. If this is your first time hearing about it, Freestyle Showdown is one of the most objective freestyle competitions in FPV. There's no voting or judges, just you, your quad, and your skill. Every trick you perform is scored based on its difficulty and execution. This is your chance to challenge yourself, see how far you've come, and throw down in a format that's all about freestyle. Whether you're going for a top score or you're just here to test your progress, this is your time to shine. This week, you'll be participating in a limited version of Freestyle Showdown, designed to give you a feel for the format while testing everything that you've learned so far in iGao. You'll start your 90-second, one-rip clip freestyle line with 3 required tricks, and then after that, you decide how you fill in the rest of your time. You can show off the tricks that you're proud of, explore new tricks from the Pro Whooper Visual Trictionary, complete the optional quad objectives for bonus points, or aim to hit the highest score this week. At the end of your run, you'll use the Pro Whooper calculator to score your performance based on the tricks you performed and the execution on each trick, and then you upload both your video and calculator through the submission form. To complete this challenge, you'll need to check off the 3 main requirements. Requirement number 1. Start your freestyle run with the 3 required tricks in this exact order: split S, Powerloop, and a flip. These are already pre-filled in the calculator. Just make sure that you fly them in the correct order before moving on to the rest of your run. Requirement number 2 is to freestyle. After those first 3 tricks, you've got the rest of your 90-second clip to show us what you've got. You can freestyle as hard as you can, or take it easy and focus on completing the quad objectives, whatever fits your style. Requirement number 3 is to make a copy of the Pro Whooper calculator, fill it out with the tricks you performed and your execution for each one, and include it with your video when you submit. Don't worry, I'll walk you through how to do all of this in just a minute. Now, if you're looking to boost your score, you can take on the optional bonus challenge, the quad objectives. Quad stands for keep whooping all day, and each letter represents a specific task that you need to complete. K, you gotta do a roll. W, juicy flick. A, Matty flip, and D, maverick loop. You can perform them in any order and space them out however you want during your run. Each quad trick you complete earns you a 250 point bonus, and if you land all 4, you'll get an additional 2,000 point bonus. Now let's go over a few important rules to keep the challenge fair for everyone. You'll get full points for a trick up to 3 times. After that, any additional times that you repeat the trick will not earn you any points. Your video must be one continuous clip, so no cuts or editing. If there are multiple clips, we'll only score the first clip. Do not speed up your footage to shorten time between tricks. If you do, your video will be marked as failed. Your total runtime is 90 seconds max. The clock starts at least 1 second before your first trick, and if it hits 90 seconds while you're mid-trick, you're still allowed to finish that trick for full credit. We're also using the honor system, so score yourself honestly. If you did the trick clean, mark it clean. If it was sloppy, mark it sloppy. If your score looks off, it might get reviewed and adjusted. Freestyle Showdown is about growing your skills and confidence, so let's keep it fun, fair, and focused on flying your best. Before we move on, I'm going to walk you through how to download the Pro Whooper calculator, how to score your run, and how to fill out everything properly using an example clip. This part is pretty important, so follow along step by step, and I'll show you exactly how it works. Let's get started by going to prowhooper.com. And then at the top, you're going to see a yellow banner that says click here for the iGao 5 TG7 details and calculator. So click show me.
Skittles! 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 Come back!
Skittles! Skittles! Oh no!
And it's going to take you to a page that pretty much covers everything that I talked about in the video. It includes a lesson deadline timer, as well as a quick flying guide. So when you're out in the field and you forgot one of the requirements, you can quickly see what you have to do in order to complete requirement 1, as well as the quad objectives. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll see a section that says download the calculator. You're going to click here to download the Google Sheets calculator. And you're going to start by going to File, and then I don't know why it's making all those little code things, and you're going to click Make a Copy. And it doesn't matter what you call it, so I'm just going to leave it as copy, but it would probably be recommended if you put your name at the end. So then you're going to hit Make a Copy, and it's going to open up a new tab with the copy of the calculator. All right. So to start, at the bottom of the page, you're going to see it says Calculator Outdoor, as well as Outdoor Trictionary. This is kind of like a quick reference to all the tricks, as well as a written description, but it doesn't include the nice GIFs that you see on the visual Trictionary on prowooper.com. It's more of just kind of a really quick reference. So if we go back to Calculator Outdoor, going to do is at the top here, you are going to type your name under the pilot section, and then beneath that you're going to see a section that says trick score, quad bonus, and total score. And this is just kind of a visualization of where your score points are coming from. And beneath that is where all the magic happens. So as you can already see, we have our first 3 tricks pre-filled in the calculator. So the split S, power loop, and flip. And they're already automatically marked as clean. But if you did a trick sloppy, you're gonna hit the drop down and you're gonna hit sloppy. And what that's going to do is reduce your total points down by about 35%. So as you can see, you know, that 100 points that we would have got for the clean turns into 65 points for a sloppy split S. So let's do an example run. All right, so I have the video and calculator pulled up side by side. I highly recommend doing this. It will make it a lot easier to update your calculator as you go along. So let's get started. Gonna fly around for a little bit and then pop off the split S into a power loop and a flip. So let's pause and come back over. And as you see, we already have them pre-filled and the execution for all 3 tricks were clean. So let's keep going. So then we do a Matty flip followed by a half roll. The half roll isn't really a trick, so we're just gonna ignore that. So we are going to type in a Matty flip. There's 2 different ways of doing it. You can either type Matty, and as you can see here, everything that has the word Matty pops up, or you can scroll through the drop down, but that takes a long time. So I highly recommend just kind of typing the trick. And then as you probably noticed, the Matty flip over here is now highlighted green under the quad section to give you a visual indicator that you have completed one of the quad objectives. So let's keep going. So then we do a juicy flick followed by a random little half power loop, which I'm not going to count as a trick. So we're going to type juicy flick. And as you can see, we got that one highlighted as well. All right, so then we do a whiplash, which is a trick a lot of you might not be familiar with. And then a roll. So we'll come back over, do a roll. And we got one more objective in order to complete quad. And if you look up here at the quad bonus section, you can see that we've already earned 750 points from the quad bonus. So when we complete the final letter, we'll get the final 250 points and an additional 2,000 for a total of 3,000 quad. So then I do another split S followed by a Barani. So split, and Barani. All right. We do another split S. And then so far we've already done 3 split S's. So you'll notice whenever I do my next split S, I will receive 0 points for that. So we do a juicy flick followed by another little fun transition maneuver, which I won't count as a trick. So there's juicy. A Rubik's Cube into another split S through that gap. So Rubik's, then we'll type split. And then, yeah, as I said, with the split S, we are not going to receive any points for that. And then we finish that with another juicy flick. So it's going to be the same thing with the juicy flick. If I do a 4th juicy flick, which I don't know if I do or not, you'll see that I receive 0 points for it. So we got to roll into a big half matty. Another split S into a Maverick loop. So split S, and as you can see, we got 0 points for it. And then we did the Maverick loop. Oh, I'm sorry, that's wrong one. Maverick loop. And then, as you can see, all 4 letters have been completed, and we got that sweet 3,000 point bonus. So just completing the quad objectives pretty much doubles our score at this point in time, and we still have a little bit of time left on the video. All right, so we do a power flip, but it's kind of like a rewind type trick where I kind of stop myself and go back. This would be a good time to use the custom trick calculator that I mentioned earlier, but we removed it from the simplified version of the calculator. Normally it would be in this area right here. So then we do a Matty flip, and then I try to go into a trippy spin, but end up whacking the side of the gazebo. So we're gonna type Matty flip here. And we did attempt the trippy spin, so we are going to add it, and because it resulted in a crash, we are going to hit the execution and select crash. And as you can see, it did not give us any points. In the full version of Freestyle Showdown, getting a crash or bump will actually kind of eliminate your multiplier. So in the full version, it is a lot more penalizing to crash than it is with this simplified version. So don't worry about crashing. You're not going to be losing anything by crashing. And that's it. So as you can see, we earned a total of 6,300 points, which includes the quad objectives. So now we're just going to type our name at the top, and that's it. So when you go to submit your video, I don't know if the link is actually up. Why don't we check? Prover.com. Yes, it is ready. So now you're going to get down here where it says please upload your calculator, and you are going to hit add file, and then hit the recent tab. It usually always shows up here, and then you're going to select it and then insert, and there you go.
Before we wrap up, I want to quickly talk about the different ways you can approach your run and how the simplified version compares to the full version of Freestyle Showdown. The full version is a lot more in depth, but it offers multiple ways in order to boost your score. For example, we have a streak bonus that gives you a little bit of a multiplier boost every time you successfully complete a trick. We offer tricks of the week, which allow you to earn double points for performing a certain trick that is categorized by beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And there's also extra penalties. So there's penalties for doing a trick back to back, as well as repeating tricks multiple times. And finally, we have a trick builder that lets you create your own tricks and it automatically scores them for you. Some pilots like to go all in and try to hit every single multiplier they possibly can in a single run, but it can be pretty tough to pull off. So you might be asking, how should you play this week? Well, that's completely up to you. Whatever you think is fun or challenging, go for it. You could try to hit as many tricks as possible within the 90 seconds, or you could go big with the high difficulty tricks for a bigger point payout. Or if you want to take it easy, you can focus on completing the quad objectives in order to still increase your score. But at the end of the day, Freestyle Showdown is about having fun. If you'd rather just fly without thinking about bonuses or objectives, that's totally fine too. You get to choose how you want to fly. And that's everything you need to know for this week's challenge. Big thanks to everyone who's taking part. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys put together. Whether you're flying to get the top spot on the leaderboard or just flying for fun, this is a great opportunity to show how far you've come. Also, another big thanks to BetaFPV for sponsoring not only this challenge, but for sponsoring me as well. If you haven't checked out their Air 65 series, I highly recommend it. Seriously, it's an ultra lightweight, super agile whoop that's perfect for both freestyle and racing, especially paired with their 300-mile lava lipos. It's one of the most well-balanced bind and fly whoops on the market. If you want more information on this challenge, or you want to access our visual Trictionary, or find people to fly with on our pilot locator, or you just want to find a cool group of people to hang out with on Discord, check out prowhooper.com. Everything you need is there. And that about wraps it up. So with that being said, have fun, happy flying, and Tyrantt out. Back to you, Skittles.
Thank you, Tyrantt, for that detailed explanation and for allowing us to use the TPW scoring system in iGAL 5. Okay, pilots, I hope the preseason training ground challenges taught you some new skills and helped prepare you for the iGAL 5 regular season. Good luck and happy whooping!